Hey everyone, before we get into this video I need to give an explanation for those who didn't see my last little update. This video is the part 2 to a video I posted on the 22nd of August, 2022. Yes, that long ago. I actually wrote this entire video as soon as part 1 was posted, but I was very sick back then and ended up never being able to edit and post the video before I had to take a break for an entire year. By the time I could come back to YouTube I thought it had been way too long to ever post part 2 as people will have forgotten about part 1, but after asking you guys, I got an overwhelming response of you all begging for me to post it. As I'm sure you're aware, I've been struggling again recently to make videos, but I suddenly remembered I had this entire video written right here in my phone, so I'm sorry this is so late, but it's finally time to post this one. I'm also sorry if you've entirely forgotten about part 1, it will be linked below as always in case you want to rewatch it. Now we can finally get into this one. Thank you for bearing with me, and I hope you enjoy the video.
これからかっちゃんたちが組み手してくれるんです。ワン・フォー・オールを完成させ。言ってねえよ。
Oh god, why did I take so long to get ready this morning? I'm going to be late. Deku was rushing through the halls to get to class on time. He had spent a lot of the morning completely spacing out, going over everything that had happened the day before. He reached the classroom and barged through the door, freezing as he immediately made eye contact with BakuDeku, who was sat at his desk twirling his pen. The moment he looked up at Deku, he smiled, and the poor boy was so flustered that his eyes blew wide and he looked to the floor, feeling his cheeks flush as he rushed past BakuDeku to sit at his own desk. God damn it, he's so fucking cute. Oh god, how the heck am I supposed to make it through this? Hey Deku, are you okay? You look like you might have a fever. Deku looked up to see his classmates watching him with concern, and he freaked out even more. What? No, I'm fine? Are you sure you're okay, especially after yesterday? Deku noticed how some people looked to Todoroki, who only looked away in shame. Guys please, I promise I'm fine, don't worry about any of that. It's not Todoroki's fault at all, and besides. He trailed off as he turned to look at the back of blonde spiky hair. At the sudden silence BakuDeku also got curious, and turned his head a little to see why Deku had stopped talking, only to be surprised as they locked eyes once more. He smiled again, feeling giddy inside as Deku smiled back, his cheeks still rosy. It was just way too cute. BakuDeku exhaled a laugh and shook his head a little, turning back around with butterflies in his stomach. Well, that was interesting. The whole class seemed to catch on to what was happening as Deku continued to bashfully stare at the back of BakuDeku's head. Oh yeah, what happened after BakuBro confessed yesterday? Dude? Kiri leaned forward to hit Denki, at the same time as Mina and Jiro hit him from either side. Ow? What? I'm just asking what we're all thinking. Before Deku could stutter out some sort of response, he was saved as Aizawa entered the classroom. Morning Aizawa-sensei? Morning Midoriya. You're all doing more work studies this week. Most of you have been called back to your previous agencies. I have a list here. A lot of the class were immediately excited at the prospect of getting to do more real hero work again, but there were a few who were a little nervous about the idea. Midoriya, BakuDeku, and Todoroki have been asked to work with Endeavor's agency again. In fact, all of you are going back to the same agencies except Kaminari, Ashido, and Shinso are now working with Mirko since she's accepting students this time round. Yeesh, I'm gonna be such a third wheel. A week with Kacchan and Todoroki. Usually I'd be so excited, but right now, this is going to be so awkward. Fuck yes, finally things are going right. I get to spend the whole week with him. I wonder if I ignited both my quirks at the same time strong enough, maybe I'd be able to just evaporate. It's short notice, but you start today, so you can leave class early. Have a good week. Everyone got up and packed their things to leave, and as Deku stood, he was surprised as BakuDeku swiftly turned to face him. Hey, awkward timing huh? Deku looked to his feet shyly and nodded, mumbling under his breath. It should be fun though. BakuDeku hesitated a moment, but looking at Deku with his head down so cutely, shuffling his feet and gripping his bag, he was so adorable. So BakuDeku couldn't help himself but to lift a hand, and gently pet Deku's head. Yeah, it'll be fun, see you later. Deku's cheeks flushed pink as BakuDeku's fingers brushed through his hair, just for a moment before he was gone and leaving the classroom. Did Kacchan just give me head pats? He just stood there completely frozen, heart racing, and stomach twisting with inner schoolgirl excitement, until Yurika came rushing over from the other end of the classroom. Deku, are you okay? What just happened with Bakugo? Nothing. He cut himself off as he made eye contact with Todoroki, who was waiting by the classroom door. I was just, could we walk back to the dorms together? Oh, of course. Deku, are you sure that's a good idea? Why wouldn't it be? You can walk with us too, obviously. Yuriko looked between them before smiling a little and nodding, the three heading off together. I know you keep brushing it all off, but I really need you to know I'm sorry, Midoriya. I'm brushing it off because it doesn't matter, Todoroki. I promise, okay? It's not your fault at all. Well, I'm still sorry regardless. I just hope you can move on and find happiness with someone else. God, why do I immediately think of Ka-chan? Can my feelings really change this quick? It doesn't seem right. I'll be fine. We'll be busy this week anyway. Can't be distracted on hero duty. They made it back to the dorms and Deku got his things ready. He spent time battling with his mind over the difference between his feelings for Bakugo and Todoroki, only getting more confused in the process. When he was ready, he left his room. Perfect timing to spot Bakugo walking down the hall toward him. Hey Ka-chan. Are you alright with us walking together? I can just go. No? Of course we can walk together, don't be silly, we're going the same way. I just didn't want to make you uncomfortable. Well, I'm totally comfortable, and I'm really looking forward to this week. Oh, me too. Finally we get to do some real hero work again. Oh yeah, that too. What were you thinking about? Spending a week with you. Deku was caught off guard by such a straightforward response, and it almost made him trip over his own feet. He cleared his throat and hummed a little in response, feeling his own face heat up as they continued to make their way out the dorms, meeting Todoroki outside. Well, this should be interesting. Yup, totally. The next day. God, this is boring. Boring is good with this sort of work. How? Well, if it wasn't boring then that would mean we'd have some villains to fight. And I know you like fighting, Ka-chan, but Todoroki-kun has a good point. The three boys had been on patrol all morning, and nothing at all had happened so far. So you'd rather we just walk around and not have to do anything real all day? If it means nobody is getting hurt, or robbed, or anything that villains do, then yes. You're boring. We have all week, Ka-chan. I'm sure we'll have plenty to do. I guess I can't complain too much about spending a week with you. You're too much, Ka-chan. Are you flirting right in front of me? I had to sit and listen to him literally confess his love to you over and over. I think you can put up with me saying I enjoy spending time with him. Bakugo shoved Todoroki a little and Deku stepped in between them, grabbing Bakugo's arm and pouting. Please don't be mad at Todoroki-kun. It's fine, I understand why he is. Besides, I was kidding. Flirt all you want. I'll be happy to see Midoriya getting the affection he deserves. Oh. Suddenly they heard the alarms go off in a nearby store and turned to spot a group of 4 villains racing away with bags of stolen items. Finally, something interesting? I'll call Endeavor back over. We might not be able to handle all 4 alone. Good idea? We can take them? We don't need. Bakugo was cut off as he neared one of the villains, and was immediately covered in a thick slimy substance that started to burn his skin. Shit! What the fuck is this stuff? Ka-chan, oof! While Deku was distracted, he was roundhouse kicked by a woman with purple hair. Endeavor arrived quickly, telling the boys to stay and fight as he rushed after the villain that was clearly the leader of the group. Deku held his own against the girl whose quirk seemed to just be super strong legs, while Todoroki attempted to hold off a huge dude who was tearing up everything he could get his hands on and turning them into molten lava rocks, which he hurled toward Todoroki as he used as much ice as he could to stop them. In the commotion, Deku briefly saw Bakugo fighting with the villain who had covered him in the burning substance, before they rounded a corner and he started to panic. Todoroki-kun? Are you okay? I'm fine, focus on yourself, Midoriya. But what about Ka-chan? I can't see him anymore. You can't be getting distracted while we're fighting, boy. She kicked him again, sending him flying backwards and into a brick wall with a thud. You're lucky I'm distracted, or this would already be over. As Deku stood up, he was once again distracted by the sound of Todoroki gasping, and looked over to see him bloody and half unconscious on the ground. Todoroki-kun? He wasted no time in knocking out the woman he was fighting, rushing over to Todoroki just before he could be crushed by a lava rock. He rushed him to an alley before turning to see the lava villain running toward where Bakugo had gone with the other villain, and he felt conflicted. He looked back to Todoroki, who had a cut on his head as his eyes struggled to stay open. but as he watched the villain rushing away his heart started to race in fear. I'm fine Midoriya, you got them so I'll be fine, just let me sit here, go after him, go to Bakugo. But you're bleeding. So are you silly? I don't wanna leave him here, but I really need to go, I can't bear the thought of Kacchan struggling right now, why does my chest hurt so much? I have to go. I'm sorry. He propped Todoroki against the alley wall and stood up, immediately racing round the corner toward Bakugo, feeling his heart thumping hard and his mind spinning. I do love Kacchan, of course I do, I've always loved Kacchan, how did I mask it as something else for so long? Just as he rounded the corner he spotted the lava villain on the ground, and a little further up his eyes locked onto a terrifying scene. Deku stared, frozen to the spot as he had flashbacks to the sludge villain last year, how Bakugo was being smothered, unable to move or even breathe. He was stronger now, so he was still fighting, but his cuts and burns were major and Deku lost all rationality. Kacchan? He sprinted over, tearing Bakugo away from the villain and flinging him away with Black Whip, landing a massive kick to the villain as he punched away all the acidic slime coming his way. Deku! Deku screamed in anger as he wrapped the villain in Black Whip, before using 50% of One for All to smash him back into a building, almost collapsing the whole thing in the process. The villain was down, the fight was over, but Deku was blind with fear and rage. He held the barely conscious villain down and used his Black Whip ribbons to cover his nose and mouth. How do you like it, huh? How does it feel to be suffocated? Just as the villain was passing out, Bakugo grabbed Deku from behind, dragging him away and holding him tightly in his arms. Calm down Deku, hey, look at me, it's okay. No? He deserves it? You could have died Kacchan, he deserves to die. It's okay, I'm sorry, you're okay, you're a hero Izuku and you've done amazing, you can relax now, it's okay. He stroked Deku's hair and back, continuing to murmur praises and reassurance as Deku began to sob, gripping Bakugo tightly and gasping for breath against him. You can't go telling villains they should die, that's my thing silly. Bakugo managed to laugh a little but Deku only cried harder. I thought, it looked like. Shush, it's okay, just breathe, thank you for saving me. Deku slowly calmed down, feeling so comfortable and safe in Bakugo's arms as they just sat in the middle of the street, until Endeavor came back with the villain he had captured in cuffs. Where is Shoto? He was bleeding a lot, so he's resting in an alley? Oh god, he might have passed out by now. They all rushed back to where Deku had left Todoroki, and were relieved to see him still conscious. He smiled weakly as he noticed Bakugo and Deku holding hands. Shoto, are you okay? What happened? It's nothing, just a little dizzy. I'm sorry I left you here. No, Bakugo needed your help, I'm fine. Get stronger, icy hot, then you wouldn't have to worry us like this. You were worried about me? Maybe a little. You two can take the rest of the day off, you need to come to the hospital. He lifted his son just as the police arrived to take away the villains. Should we come with you to make sure Todoroki-kun is okay? Don't be silly, go and rest up for tomorrow, you two probably have a lot to talk about anyway. He teased, laughing a little before holding his ribs in pain. Hurry up and get better, yeah? I'm sorry. See you tomorrow. Endeavor led him to an ambulance as Deku watched on in concern, until Bakugo turned and brushed a small cut on his cheek. Are you okay? Of course I'm okay, I was worried about you. You were suffocating again Kacchan, it must have been terrifying. What? I wasn't scared, are you crazy? Come on, there's no shot I'd let a measly villain like that hurt me for real. Stop worrying so much, I'm not going anywhere, alright? Deku's worried pout didn't shift, so Bakugo rolled his eyes and pulled him into another hug, just as Deku began to cry once again. I'll always be right here, okay? No matter what happens, you've got my back anyway, I know that. Even if I couldn't handle that guy, I wasn't scared cause I knew you'd be right there like you always are, saving my ass. He laughed and Deku even smiled a little, pulling back to nod before his smile faded. There's no way I'd ever let anyone hurt you. His eyes went dark again, like when he was suffocating the villain, and Bakugo felt his skin prickle with goosebumps. I never realized you could be so serious and intimidating, who knew you could get even more attractive. Deku blushed and shoved Bakugo a little in embarrassment. Can we just go to a hotel nearby and escape from the world today? I just wanna not worry about anything. Yes? Of course, that would be nice. Meanwhile, why you really do all that work every day? How do you think I got these guns? I thought your muscles were just part of your quirk? Come on, you ever seen a rabbit with beefy arms? The quirk is all in the legs, sweetheart. I built the rest up myself. You'll get there, you're already strong. Just a few blocks away from the prior chaos, Mina, Kaminari and Shinso were patrolling with Mirko, Mina enjoying some insightful conversations with the pro, as the boys trailed behind in a rather awkward silence. Just say something. Why don't I know what to say? I'm always talking. I always say dumb shit, but at least I'm saying something. But I don't wanna look like an idiot in front of him. Fuck. Stop being stupid, just say something. He took a breath, but just as he opened his mouth to speak, Shinso turned to talk to him. You're quieter than usual. I just don't wanna be a nuisance. They got quiet again as they kept walking, Kaminari inwardly beating himself up, until Shinso sighed and spoke again. You're not a nuisance, listening to you talk is a pretty nice distraction. Kami blushed and grinned, immediately feeling his usual confidence and carefree nature surge through him. Wah, really? It's so hard to stay quiet. I just wanted to talk about how excited I am to spend the week doing hero work with you, and like I really hope we get closer because I feel like since you joined our class we haven't been able to do anything like this. And is he always this enthusiastic? Pfft, he's always loud, but when Shinso is involved it's a whole different story. Oh really? It's nothing. It's just that, well, Shinso joined our class late, so I'm just excited to welcome him in properly, that's all. Thank you. I appreciate how great a friend you've been. I would have found it much harder to fit into 1A without you. Aw, aren't they so cute? It's things like this that make me miss my high school days. The girls continued to giggle and chat as Shinso and Kami blushed, continuing to follow behind in a half-embarrassed, half-giddy state. It wasn't long before they ran into some trouble of their own, just a small group of villains caught vandalizing a building and stealing things. Hey, what do you think you're doing? The villains looked up to the number 5 ranked hero and the looks on their faces was pure terror, except for one of them. What are you gonna do about it, Bunny? But boss, that's Mirko, we should be running. Don't be so weak, we can at least put up a fight. Are we about to fight these guys? I'm ready to whoop some ass. This'll be a piece of cake. Within the first minute, Mina and Mirko had worked together to take down 2 of the cowardly villains, as Shinso was facing off against the leader. However, the guy's wind quirk was proving to be quite difficult for Shinso's cloth to handle. Hey, do you need help? I've got this. No you don't. The wind whipped Shinso's cloth right back at him and he quickly got tangled up just as the girls were fighting off the last henchman. Oh shit, why am I just standing here? He's gonna get Shinso? Kami panicked and rushed over, not thinking properly before practically exploding with 2 million volts of electricity. Kami? Whoa, what did he do that for? The villain was well and truly fried, but so was Kaminari. Yay. Oh god, how long is he gonna be stuck like this? Depends how many volts he used, seemed like a lot, so maybe like 20 minutes. I guess you guys deserve the rest of the day off after that. We'll pick it back up tomorrow morning. Great work. Are you sure, Mirko-san? You did amazing. Treat yourself this evening. Mirko collected up the unconscious villains to hand off to the police, leaving her 2 students to tend to their fried friend. Mina convinced the boys to head into a nearby boba store to get some drinks while they waited for Kaminari to sober up. My muscles are all sore. You and Mirko work really well together. I feel like when you're a pro you'll be a lot like her. You think so? Why are we yelling? My head hurts. Oh hey, finally, you fried yourself. Like, badly. I did. Oh yeah. Here, we got you a drink. Kami blinked slowly before leaning forward to take a sip from his straw, sitting up straighter as he gradually got all his senses back. Are you alright? Yeah, I'll just be a little out of it for a while. Well, you totally beat that villain's ass, it was dope. She held her hand up for a high five and Kaminari excitedly returned it, turning to hold his hand up for Shinso too, but faltering when he noticed the boy's frown. Why did you use so much power? It was unnecessary and you put yourself at risk. Oh, it's not my fault. I panicked. Why? The villains weren't even that strong. You got all wrapped up and I was scared he was going to hurt you, so I just freaked out and used more than I was meant to. I was scared. Oh. Shinso blushed a little and didn't know what to say, so they ended up just staring at each other in silence for a moment too long. Sigh, simp. I'm going to the ladies' room, please be less awkward when I get back. Mina left the 2 boys who continued to sit in their awkward silence for a little longer, until Kami had had enough. Can I ask you to ask me something? What? I want you to use your quirk on me, to force me to be honest about something. What? No way. Just tell me what's going on. I'm not forcing anything out of you, but I want to tell you I'm just too scared. There's no need to be scared, just tell me. I can't? Please just use your quirk. Shinso hesitated, but as Kaminari put his hands together pleadingly, he sighed in defeat. Fine, just tell me what you want me to ask and I'll activate my quirk. Ask me how I really feel about you. Shinso's eyes widened in shock as he flushed pink, but he activated his quirk nonetheless and gulped nervously. Tell me how you feel about me. I have a massive crush on you because you're super cool and hot and smart and I wanna kiss you every time I see you. Shinso was completely flustered as he cut off his quirk, stopping Kami from going any further as he snapped out of his trance and hid his face in embarrassment. Oh god, I didn't mean to say all that. I only wanted to confess. As they both sat there with bright red faces, Mina returned from the restroom, and immediately laughed at their situation. What the heck did I miss? None of your business. What, did you finally do it? Kami wanted to disappear as he whined, and Shinso only blushed darker. I got him to use his quirk and ended up saying way too much. God, I'm so embarrassed. Do you want me to leave you alone? I've been wanting to do a bunch of research on Mirko since the fight earlier anyway, so it's no big deal. What? You can't just... Yes please, I'd like to talk to Kaminari. Kami's jaw dropped as he blinked in shock toward Shinso, before he watched Mina get up, wink at him, and saunter away from their table. Enjoy your evening. He wants to talk to me, I just confessed to him. Oh shit. He gulped and started to fiddle with his fingers shyly. It's okay if you don't like me back. I totally understand that I'm not smart and I can be quite a lot. You're cute. Of course I like you back, dummy. Kami practically combusted on the spot, looking at the way Shinso was smiling at him as he reached across to hold one of his hands. You caught my eye the very first day we met. You were so sweet to welcome me in so warmly with your pretty smile. Ha, I was just so sure you were straight based on everything you get up to with Mineta. But that's just, I'm pansexual? It's just easier to hit on girls when I'm with Mineta because he makes me look good in comparison. Shinso burst into laughter and Kami panicked, realizing he'd just majorly insulted his little friend. Oh god, I didn't mean it like that. It's not Mineta's fault girls don't like him. Although maybe it is, he can be a lot sometimes. Shinso just continued to laugh as Kami failed to save himself, but he didn't care anymore. He was just getting giddier and giddier the more Shinso laughed. I love your laugh. The moment the words left his mouth, Shinso quieted down, blushing bashfully as he scratched his neck. Ahem, thank you. Could we maybe stay at a hotel tonight or something? Just relax and figure things out, cause I'm just remembering we're in a very public place and it's a little awkward. Oh, I'd love to. Honestly, I kind of just can't believe you like me back. Come on, we'll talk about it at the hotel. They got up to leave, Kami wringing his hands together as he debated whether to hold Shinso's hand or not, but he decided against it, realizing that Shinso was clearly shy about affection in public. He used his phone to find the nearest hotel, and when they reached it, the sight in the lobby made them stop and stare in disbelief. Here's your room key, enjoy your stay. Ka-chan, we should have got food before we came. We can make something, don't worry about it. Bakugo trailed off as they locked eyes with Kaminari and Shinso by the entrance. What are you two doing here? It's a hotel, dumbass. What do you think we're doing here? I could ask you the same thing. Calm down, Ka-chan. Todoroki got badly hurt, so we're taking the rest of today off. We figured we'd just lay low. A similar thing happened with us. Kami fried himself, so we're doing the same as you. Why are you guys holding hands? Shut up, I'm allowed to hold Deku's hand. What, are you jealous? Not at all. I have my own hand to hold. He defensively reached down to grab Shinso's hand, making him flush red as everyone went quiet. Excuse me. Sorry miss. Sorry, can we have a room for tonight please? One bed or two? Two beds, please. The lady handed them their key as Shinso paid, and they all awkwardly thanked her and shuffled through to the elevators. They looked at their keys and realized their rooms were next to each other on the 4th floor, making them all uncomfortably step into the same elevator. Each pair kept their hands clasped together, Bakugo and Kami glaring at each other as Deku and Shinso just stared with wide eyes and rosy cheeks. Are you okay, Kaminari-kun? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I just used too much electricity cause I didn't want Shinso to get hurt. Cute. He's not cute, he's stupid. I got hurt protecting you too, remember? So what? Am I stupid now too? Cha, yeah you are, you shouldn't have hurt yourself. But, you're also cute. Hee, thank you. Shinso called me cute too. Just as the awkwardness was returning, they were saved by the elevator reaching their floor. The moment the doors opened, Shinso dragged Kaminari out and straight into their room before another word could be spoken. Pfft, well that was unexpected. Bakugo rolled his eyes but smiled at Deku's adorable giggle as he led them to their room. When they got inside they put their bags down and Deku stretched cutely, yawning as Bakugo watched with a pure smile. Ah, I wonder if Todoroki-kun is okay. He'll be fine, you should stop worrying and just relax this evening. I really need to get out of this costume and shower, I'm still covered in that gross slime and it burns a little. Deku stepped forward and put a hand on Bakugo's chest, catching him off guard as he gently stroked down, before he pulled his hand back and laughed. Yeah, I can still feel it. Oh. He trailed off as he looked up into Bakugo's eyes and noticed his expression, his parted lips and red cheeks, eyes hot and heavy. Ah, you can shower first, I didn't get much on me. Bakugo blinked and snapped out of his own mind, clearing his throat and stepping back. Yeah, I'll be quick. While Bakugo was showering, Deku took the time to explore their room. A nice little living room, a good enough little kitchen which actually had some snack-type foods in the fridge, and a bedroom with 2 single beds. Perfect. 1 hour later. Deku was just drying his hair after showering, and as he left the bedroom he giggled, spotting Bakugo sat on the couch watching cartoons. Oh, this was I only just turned it on, this was the channel it was on. Don't worry about it, Ka-chan, I like cartoons too. Bakugo hid his face in embarrassment as Deku walked round to sit beside him. You're adorable. He peeked through his fingers and almost died at the sight, dropping his hands immediately to gawk at Deku. His hair was still damp and his skin was rosy from the hot water, his legs were bare and his baggy shirt drooped below his collarbone. Wow, how is he so pretty? I've never seen him like this. He has freckles on his shoulders too, he looks so cozy and cute. Fuck, how am I supposed to contain myself right now? Ka-chan, why are you staring? Because you're absolutely beautiful. Deku's eyes immediately began to sparkle with tears as his heart thumped in his chest. He gripped the couch till his knuckles turned white and looked away. Oh God, I'm sorry. Am I being too much? I'll stop. No, I'm sorry. I just don't know what to do. You don't have to do anything. I know how you feel about Todoroki and that's fine, it can't. You don't get it, Ka-chan. He looked back into Bakugo's eyes and the blonde boy just wanted to reach out and hold him. My feelings are scaring me. I love you, Ka-chan. At least I thought I did. But how can I when I was confessing to Todoroki like a week ago? Maybe I never even liked Todoroki. Maybe I don't even know what love feels like. What if I've just been confused the whole time and I've never even loved? Bakugo cut him off by shushing him and holding his hands. Deku immediately relaxed a little and took a deep breath, sniffling as Bakugo gently stroked the back of his hands. Look, there's no rush. We can figure all that out together, right? Deku smiled, nodding a little as he stared into Bakugo's eyes. His heart was drumming in his ears as his mind raced. This is different from Todoroki. It is. I just thought I loved Todoroki because I enjoyed how happy he made me, but he's my friend. Ka-chan is. I really love Ka-chan, more than anything. I don't even understand all the reasons why I just, oh, Ka-chan? Kiss me. Bakugo's eyes widened, searching into Deku's eyes but only seeing hope and conviction. Are you, please? Bakugo only hesitated a moment longer, before leaning in, both of them excited, but terrified, until their lips connected. Neither of them had ever kissed anyone before, but the feeling of Deku's soft, warm lips against Bakugo's own immediately set his heart on fire. The kiss was messy, it was unexpected, but both of them got so lost in the experience that nothing else mattered. And when they finally pulled apart, Deku lying back on the couch with Bakugo towering over him, both of them panting for air as they attempted to grasp what just happened, Deku felt a surge of pure happiness wash over him. Oh God, Ka-chan, thank you. His eyes started to water as he grinned up at the blonde boy, and Bakugo only returned the expression. You're so incredible. Deku sat up and wrapped his arms around Bakugo tightly, clinging to him even with his legs as he laughed and cried at the same time. This doesn't feel real. Even just a few weeks ago you would have never let me hug you, let alone complimenting me, kissing me. Have I just been in a dream this entire time? I'm the one who feels like I'm in a dream. I can't even explain it. As soon as I confessed how I really felt about you, it's like everything became easier, less anger all the time, and, fuck, getting to kiss you. I'm so happy. The happiest I think I've ever felt in my entire life. Deku leant forward and pressed a kiss to Bakugo's cheek, catching him by surprise and making him groan, lying back on the couch and hiding his face in embarrassment. Since when were you so cute, Ka-chan? Thank you for the most amazing first kiss. Whoa, it was both of our first kisses. I'm glad. Really? I'm surprised you've not kissed someone before. Huh? Who else would I have ever wanted to kiss? I dunno, you're so strong and cool and super attractive. You were always popular, and even though you never really liked people, I thought you would have totally kissed someone already. No way. You're the only one I've ever wanted to kiss. Well, I thought I wanted to kiss Todoroki, but... Oi, don't start talking about him when I'm right here. Deku giggled as Bakugo towered over him again, both of them teasing each other with giddy smiles, until they were kissing again, getting carried away with memorizing the feeling of each other's lips, mapping their bodies and letting their imaginations run wild. Until Deku mindlessly attempted to roll them over, shifting his leg and accidentally kneeing Bakugo's side, hitting a bruise left by the villains earlier and immediately jumping off him as he groaned in pain. Ouch, damn those villains. Oh god, Ka-chan, I'm sorry? No, it's okay, it's not your fault. Yeesh, how dare they ruin that amazing kiss. Well, if you think about it, we wouldn't even be here if it weren't for them. Bakugo frowned and pouted, standing up to put his hands on Deku's waist. We would have ended up like this eventually, regardless of dumb villains. There was no way I would have ever let you go. Deku blushed and placed his hands on Bakugo's chest, reaching onto his tiptoes to kiss his lips sweetly. I know, thank you, but you know those villains also made me super tired. Is it bedtime yet? You know me, early night sounds great. Bakugo took his hand and they went to the bedroom, hesitantly letting go of each other and sitting on each of the beds. Today turned out great, Ka-chan. Yeah, god, I feel so sappy though. Isn't this just so cheesy? Deku giggled and lied back on his bed, grinning at the ceiling and then turning to watch Bakugo as he laid back as well. It's cheesy, but it's nice, I'm happy, and you said you are too, so nothing else matters. Yeah, alright, cheesy overload, it's definitely bedtime. They climbed under the sheets and looked across the gap between the beds at each other. Good night, Ka-chan. Night, nerd. Ka-chan, you're supposed to close your eyes and go to sleep. Well, you didn't either. I can't get myself to stop looking at you. Just, go to sleep. You close your eyes first? I don't want to. Well then I'm not sleeping either. They both stared stubbornly at each other for a moment longer, until Bakugo rolled his eyes and got out of his bed. Come on, scoot back. Wah, Ka-chan, it's a single bed. There's enough space, just shuffle back a little. Deku blushed but moved back as far as he could, leaving enough space for Bakugo to climb under the sheets against him. See, cozy. Yeah. This isn't too much, is it? No? Thank you, it's nice. Deku nervously placed his hand on Bakugo's chest, shuffling closer to him until he was pressed against his side, and Bakugo played with his hair softly. I'm so lucky. It's not luck. We'll make this work, right, Ka-chan? I hope so. Now go to sleep. Yeah, don't let me cling too much in my sleep, just wake me up if I'm annoying. I've secretly always wanted to sleep like this. I'm sure I'll be fine. Really? Yeah, I usually sleep holding a pillow. Deku practically cooed aloud as he buried his face into Bakugo's chest. You're really so cute, Ka-chan. I hope I'm better than a pillow. Well duh, stop talking, you said you were tired. Good night, dummy. Night, Ka-chan. He almost immediately passed out the moment his eyes were closed, which gave Bakugo a moment to appreciate him, brushing his hair back and feeling his heart pang at how precious he was, and just how much he loved him. I love you. Love you too. The half-asleep mumbled response made Bakugo exhale a laugh and shake his head, closing his eyes and drifting into a peaceful sleep. Oof, you guys, I wrote this on the 6th of September 2022. I'm so sorry I couldn't post it back then, and I'm also sorry it took me this long to finally decide it was worth posting even though it was incredibly late. I also wrote the concept for a part 3 back then, and I will try my best to write that, but again, writing is my biggest problem at the moment, so I have no idea how long it'll take. I also just moved again into a home with kids, and I am terrified of kids. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this part. And sorry again if you had to go back and rewatch part 1. Thank you all so much for sticking with me. I'm so grateful for you all. I love you so much.